In August 1971, inside one of the world's most respected universities, a simple psychology experiment began. It was meant to study human behavior, but what followed shocked the world. This was not a prison. There were not criminals, and yet within days, ordinary young men would turn into prisoners and into tyrants. What happens when you give power to ordinary people and take away their accountability? This is the true story of the Stanford Prison Experiment. The experiment was led by Dr. Philip Zimbardo, a psychology professor at Stanford University. Zimbardo wanted to understand one disturbing question: does evil come from within a person, or does the situation create it? Could power and authority transform good people into oppressors? His belief was simple: if you change the environment, you can change human behavior. What he did not expect was how fast that change would happen. The advertisement was placed in a local newspaper. Male college students needed for a psychology study of prison life. $15 per day. 75 young men volunteered. Only 24 were selected. They were tested, evaluated, declared mentally and physically healthy, then completely at random. 12 were assigned the role of gods. 12 became prisoners. None of them knew their roles were about to redefine who they were. The basement of Stanford's psychology department was transformed into a prison. 3 small cells, a solitary confinement closet known as the Hole, observation areas for gods. The volunteers were told they would live here 2 weeks inside a controlled environment, but no one imagined the experiment would collapse in less than 6 days. On August 14, 1971, the experiment truly began. The prisoners were arrested without warning by real Palo Alto police officers. They were handcuffed, fingerprint checked, blindfolded. They were brought to the mock prison, stripped of their clothes and also given uniforms. Their names were taken away. They were given numbers instead. The roles were now set, and slowly the illusion started becoming reality. The first day passed quietly. There was laughter, awkwardness, and uncertainty. On the second morning, everything changed. The prisoners rebelled. They barricaded their cell doors, refused to follow orders. The guards responded with force. Punishments were invented on the spot: push-ups, sleep deprivation, and solitary confinement. One prisoner completely broke down. He screamed, he cried, he lost control, so he was released early. Zimbardo believed he was pretending, but the experiment was already slipping out of control. By nightfall, the rebellion was crushed, but something far darker had emerged. The gods stopped seeing prisoners as people. They saw numbers, objects, and things to control. The prisoners were forced to clean toilets with bare hands. Food was denied. Rules were enforced without reason. Humiliation became a tool of power. Even Zimbardo lost his objectivity. He was no longer just a researcher. He became the prison superintendent. On the 5th day, a graduate student visited the prison. Her name was Christina Maslash. What she saw horrified her. Young men, emotionally broken, humiliated, traumatized. She confronted Zimbardo directly and said, "What you are doing to these boys is terrible." That moment snapped him back to reality. After just 6 days, the Stanford Prison Experiment was terminated. What was meant to last 2 weeks ended early. The damage was already done. Some gods expressed guilt, others show no remorse at all. The experiment changed psychology forever. Strict ethical rules were introduced: informed consent and oversight, the right to withdraw. Zimbardo later said, "We wanted to see what the power of the situation could do, and we found out." The Stanford Prison Experiment was not about bad people. It was about how good people can become monsters when given power without accountability. Evil does not always wear a villain's mask. Sometimes it wears a uniform.